David Begnaud in the middle of it all there in New Hope, Mississippi. David, the image of that house behind you tells the story, but what's the latest from there?
Yeah, look, so this home where the people live, they had moved out recently. They wanted to rent it, so they had left. The house was empty. But look what it did. The two trees went both ways. This one went into the neighbor's side. The man who lives there just told me his kid's room got a big hole in it. You can look up from the room and see the sky. And look what it did on this side. First of all, this is so impressive when you see the root of a tree. The hole, I'm told, is about 6 feet deep. To rip this tree out of the ground, and you see what it did to the concrete here. That takes some real force. As we come closer, this is what the other tree did to the other neighbor's house. You got it? It went right through the garage into the second story of that home. The owner and his girlfriend were actually inside. They saw the storm coming, funnel cloud train, the same thing you hear when tornadoes are coming through, and so they hid under the bed. Didn't last long, less than a minute. I want to bring in Jenny. Jenny's the property owner who lives here. Hi.
Hi.
I can tell beyond the smile you're a little bummed.
Just a little bit.
Why?
Well, we had two huge pine trees in the front yard, and instead of falling on our house, one fell either direction, and now they're in our neighbors' houses. And I just really wish that it could have fallen on our house instead.
I know you feel guilty.
Very. Yeah, extremely guilty. Just that they're having to go through this.
And lucky you weren't here.
Very.
What happened? So you had removed, there were 3 other big trees in the front yard.
Yes,
and you took them out recently?
About 2 weeks ago. We had those taken down.
Good thing they weren't here.
Yeah, I'm really glad we did it when we did, because it could have been so much worse. You know, our neighbors really could have been hurt had the 3 trees still been here.
I'm glad you weren't hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the house can be rented down the road.
Yes,
Thank you so
hopefully
much.
soon. Thank you.
No injuries here in New Hope, Josh? No injuries. They've got damage, I'd say, for probably a quarter mile wide. It's about 2 miles down, but not one injury was reported. And today, the East Coast is on deck for severe weather. From the Florida Panhandle up toward the Mid-Atlantic, if you live there, you want to keep an eye on the weather today.
It is a remarkable thing that no one was hurt. Again, when you see those pictures, David, look, living in this part of the country, these sorts of storms, severe weather systems, are a fact of life. Given what had happened 24 hours prior in Oklahoma, were people there, were people in Mississippi prepared for the same threat?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Donna, can you bring Chris over, the homeowner? I want to bring him in for a moment. Chris in the red hat. I want to bring him in to point something out, Josh. Technology and social media is really changing the game plan. Yeah, sure, people have been watching the news. So we started our trip back in Dallas, 48 hours ago. And as the storm moved forward, we followed it. Last night we were in Jackson. Then we were headed toward Tupelo. Then we rerouted to New Hope. But I got to tell you, it's the phone. It's the cell phone and what's happening lately that people are getting the alerts on their phone. Chris, I want to bring you in for a moment, and I want to talk. Our anchor, Josh, in New York, was just asking me if people were ready. And I said they were ready not only because they were watching it, and we see the crews now bringing down some of those branches, but tell me what happened on your cell phone. You were at indoor batting practice yesterday, and everybody's phone went off, right?
At the same exact time, everybody's phone went off with the alarm.
And what was the alarm? What did it say?
It just the emergency alarm went off on everybody's phone.
You knew it was in this area?
Oh yeah, and the news was on there. All the women, there's a couch, and they were watching TV, so they just saw and they said, "That's y'all's house. That's the neighborhood."
And Josh, that is how so many people knew. That's how we knew. We were sitting in Greenwood, Mississippi, and we got an alert saying there's a storm coming in, and tracking severe weather is getting so good these days. People like Chris can track it on their phone as it's happening. So yes, people were aware. But more and more people are telling us, I got it on my phone. I got it on my phone, so I took a right turn and I went to my mother-in-law's house, which is 10 miles away, and stayed out of the area.
Terrific stuff. Technology saving lives. David Begnaud in the middle of it all, New Hope, Mississippi. We appreciate the time today, David.